Hello and welcome back to the Shmuseum, where today's another really exciting day, especially I think for me and Brad, right?
Yeah, I'm excited and you're excited because...
Really?
Well, recently, last video, we collected the GT Black Series, which...
We did, and it feels like a whole new car. I mean, it was never here for very long before it was then shipped off to Dubai, so having it back, it almost feels like a brand new car again.
Exactly, but speaking of new cars, we have another new car coming to join the collection.
We might.
Joining the team, it's a new team car.
Yes.
And it's essentially a replacement for the RS3 that we're going to have for a couple of months.
It is, another one that you can drive, luckily.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's really going to be quite handy when we're doing team bits and pieces. Now, the car that we've got coming, it's similar to the RS3 in a few ways, right? I mean, it has 4 doors, it has 4 wheels.
Yeah, it has a steering wheel.
It's quite similar to the RS3. Okay, but in fairness, it has some family traits, shall we say? I think it's fair to say.
That is a good first clue, because we're going to try and leave this a little bit longer, but that's a good first clue. It's got family traits.
Yeah.
Maybe it's part of the family.
I think we'll leave that there, yeah. But not only have we got another brand new car coming and joining this museum today, we've got quite a few errands to run. And last time we went through the spreadsheet that me and Tim have of everything that needs doing, you guys are actually quite interested. And today, we've got a couple of cars to go out for a drive-in, just for maintenance purposes, one of which is the Aston Martin V8 Vantage Roadster. That's been a little over a month since that's had a drive, so that needs to go out just to make sure all is well.
Roof down?
Why not? Roof down, the weather's lovely. Yep, and actually yesterday, we took the GT8 out for a quick run because that was due, and also we had some more parts to collect for our Project Clio V6, and I believe Brad's probably going to drop a clip in about now. Now, you join us a couple of days before what you're currently watching, and Paul at carspares.co.uk has reached out because, as we said, he actually went through the list of parts required for the Project Clio V6 car, Clio V6 project car, and he's actually managed to find some boot struts that are perfectly sized for it, because on the V6 and the trophies are actually different size, but he's managed to get hold of those and said, do you want to come and pick them up? So, yes, and also it's a really sunny day, hence these, so don't shout at me. And, well, I think we all know what I'm going to take.
Have you got the wrong key?
It's already unlocked.
Oh.
I've already unlocked it.
I'll say it's either you've got the wrong key or it's that.
Yeah, I've already unlocked it, so that's not going to work. So
we're taking this. It needs to run out, right?
It does. It needs to run out. It's been a little over a month since this was last driven, so that's a good excuse as any for me. So we're going to go and collect some boot struts for the Clio V6 in the GT8. So you guys probably want to head that way.
100%. Cold start time. You'll have to excuse the noise, there's some work going over there, but we have arrived at, I said we've arrived, we've actually been and we are leaving carspares.co.uk. This is their showroom, and it is really cool inside, but more importantly, we have the boot struts for the Clio. We have, and again, this is why I'm so thankful for the guys here at carspares.co.uk, and Paul in particular. If ever you need anything, do give him a shout, because most people, when we were looking around for these, were trying to sell us the regular boot struts, which are actually about 1 inch longer. And what happens is the spoiler on the V6 and the 182 trophy, as I mentioned a little while ago, it ends up going too far and the spoiler hits the roof and damages it. But these are that bit shorter and they're designed for the purpose. So again, it's great to have that specialist info. Boot isn't open, is it? It's great to have that specialist info of people that know these things and can provide the right parts. So huge thanks to carspares.co.uk. And isn't that place like car heavy?
It is, yeah. When you walk in,
we walked in and there's just tools, there's detailing bits, there's there's just everything in there that if you're a car nut and you're working on your cars, etc., this is the place to come and look at. They'll have parts for your car most likely, or parts to work on your car.
Truth be told, cool. I expected car spares. They have car everything. So from air fresheners to tools to parts, anything you could ever need. So yeah, if you do need anything, make sure you check these guys out, pop your reg in the website, and all the list of parts available will be there. So time to pop those in the boot and get back on the road and hear some lovely more V8. More lovely V8. Anyway, let's go.
Time to head back, and we have this to listen to.
Isn't it so good?
It's so good. Naturally aspirated V8 that just screams out the back of this thing.
Why don't they make cars like this anymore? This, the C63, just, oh, it's absolute, it's heaven. It's absolute heaven. The world is being ruined by turbocharging and electrification. It really is.
Right, so we have boot struts. Let's get back to this museum and
We got a thumbs up from the guy
That's cool.
in the Mercedes. He's clearly a fan.
Hello. Anyway, let's get back to the Shmuseum, and yeah, we have boot struts for the Clio now.
Okay, so you guys have managed to see what we got up to yesterday, and we managed to collect the boot struts for the Clio, which was amazing. A huge thank you to Paul once again at carspares.co.uk. It's been absolutely amazing supporting us on this project so far, and we are hugely thankful. But not only that, we've got some more cars to get out on the road. Both the AMG GTs. Speaking of the Black Series, because, well, both of these are actually low on fuel, because we topped that one up just after we picked it up in Ipswich, right?
Yeah, yeah. In Bury St Edmunds.
Yes, yeah. So we topped that one up just after we collected it there. So that's done the run from there all the way back here and has done about a quarter of a tank of fuel. And this is on about half a tank, because actually before Tim went away to Gumball, he was daily driving this, and well, I've not topped it up since, and it probably needs a wash as well. So
isn't there another car?
We've got quite a lot going on.
Isn't there another one that needs fuel?
There is.
There is. Yes.
There is. Well remembered. Sorry, we did have this discussion before. Yes, the Focus RS is also in need of fuel. This has about half a tank as well, because as well as that, Tim was swapping between the two of these. So
we have 4 cars to run out, 1 for a run, which I guess will probably need fuel after, maybe.
And I think we were partly responsible for the fuel depletion in this from going up to the guys at TDF.
Yes.
So, which again is something we need to speak about soon, coming soon.
Yeah. So what's going on today?
There is lots going on today.
And I'm sure there will be more things that come up that we're like, yep, cool, let's go and sort that. So
always. So yeah, come along for the ride and let's see what's first.
First up, time for a fuel run, and we're going to take obviously one of the GTs out, but I don't know what you have a key.
I have a key.
All I've seen you take a key out of the selection. I have no idea.
This is the thing, they all look exactly the same. So which one do you think I've grabbed the keys for? I'm going to stand in the middle as not to
I would like to think probably the Black Series, because you know it's pretty crazy. But with the weather, I'm going to say Roadster.
It's quite annoying because yeah, it's
if it will unlock.
There we go.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I figured we'll start the day, bit of roof down, and get out in the GTR Roadster. So
let's get roof down. I'll get a cold start, and then we can get on the road.
Yeah, sounds like an absolute plan to me.
Here we go. Roadster pulling out, roof down. It's such a quick roof process. Boom, done. I think you can go up to like 30 miles an hour or something along those lines. So yeah, first up, Roadster out into the morning sun. Fill up time.
Fill up time indeed.
The waiting game. Can we get it to like an even round number this time, or?
I don't know, I guess that's the game, right? We'll see where it clicks off and see how much further I can go.
And just to clarify, the roof has stayed down.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the sun is out, the blue skies, it's lovely.
We've got sunglasses on outside, not indoors. That's good.
Stopped by operator. I think they're unhappy with us filming, Brad.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
I should probably stop filming. That's a good noise.
It's not bad, is it?
Very different from the Black Series.
I still argue there's not enough of it, but very good noise.
Ah, that's a bit of an issue.
That is now the AMG GTR Roadster parked up back inside the Shmuseum. Still left the roof down for now because it looks so good. Now the plan was basically to jump straight into the Black Series and go and top that one off with fuel. However, when we returned with the Roadster, the new team car was outside waiting for us. So Brad has just gone to drop the delivery driver to the train station. And then I guess it's time to get it inside the Shmuseum. But clue number 2, it has 4 cylinders. I think that's a fair clue. So it's a 4-cylinder car with family traits to the RS3. Have you worked it out yet? So you guys are now back to seeing this, sorry, but that means Brad is obviously back. How's the new car?
I'm not going to say anything yet, but it's
okay.
all right. It's all right.
Okay, so it's all right. You've said something. So it's not bad.
No, okay, it's a good car.
Have you found anything you dislike so far?
No, I don't think
you've
so.
been out for 15
no,
minutes.
I have.
You have?
And I guess it might be a little teaser.
So we'll discuss that.
No, we can mention
now?
it briefly now.
Go on.
Climate control, there's no like physical button.
So it's all haptic
There's
touchscreen
lots
button.
of, it's all on the touchscreen, which I don't like.
I'm
young, but I like the old school. I like a button to press.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. You can't beat a physical button. That's why I love Porsche.
Is that another clue?
But
not the
quite
Porsche
possibly.
Bit, but
quite possibly.
The haptic.
I think it's fair to say we've already kind of given away it's something in the VAG group, right?
Yeah. Back filling up. This car looks so good. Look at it. Tom's posing.
And just like that, we are back with the GT Black Series, and ooh, that's quite a lot of air coming out of there. It just doubles as a fan.
Just to point out.
Sorry, it doesn't double as a fan. It is a fan. You know what I mean.
Just to point out, we did pop this. We didn't drive with it open.
No.
It's quite noisy. It sounds like it's trying to take off.
Every single time you park this car, if you run it out for 5 minutes and come back and the engine isn't even up to the fans are on. So maybe we need to look at that. Maybe it's normal, not sure. We can ask. It's actually going in for service at some point soon. It's shocking that it's nearly that old, right? It's nearly due a service.
And how much it's done.
Yeah.
In that time.
I think it's just quite surprising because obviously it hasn't been here, so you kind of forget almost. But
anyway, without further ado,
time to get the C-Tech back on.
Well, I think we should reveal the new team car.
Let's cut to that. So the time has come to show you the new team car. Now it is just to the right of me. Brad is currently sat in it. As you can probably tell, I'm stood at the shutter door, sorry. And I think any moment now, Brad is probably going to drive through and reveal our new CUPRA Formentor VZ3. This is the top spec car in the petrol matte blue. And I guess now we're going to go and take a proper look around. There we go. It does sound rather good for a 4-cylinder. So yeah, let's take a full look around at this now. And here it is in all of its glory, the CUPRA Formentor. And I've got to say, I actually quite like it.
Yeah, so do I. It's really nice actually seeing something a bit bigger and different.
Yeah, it's nice to have an SUV type car back in the garage, something with some room to carry bits and pieces. And yeah, I've got to say, I mean, off camera, we just did briefly go for a drive together just so I could experience roughly what it's like. And initial impressions are phenomenal. It's kind of what you would expect. It rides beautifully. It's very comfortable. It's very easy to place on the road. It's quite quick. Yeah, it's absolutely lovely. But I think what I love is the exterior design and details we've got going on with like the bronze accents that we have all around the car.
Front badge.
Yeah, so we've got it on the wheels, center caps, calipers, and the calipers look absolutely lovely in that color. We're so used to seeing yellow, red, blue calipers, but never bronze.
Yeah, and it obviously follows into the interior, which we'll get to shortly.
It does, and again, it follows around here.
And like the sort of carbon fiber looking.
Even on the key, I don't know if it will come up on camera, it's got like a bronzy carbon fiber effect.
And it's a lovely looking key if you flip it over.
It is, it's a really, really smart key.
It's not your usual like Volkswagen Audi Group key, which you find on,
lovely.
For example, the Hurricane STO.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we need to run through specs and things. So this is obviously the Formentor VZ3. It is finished in petrol matte blue, which is, it's an interesting color. It's like a dark blue.
It's very unusual.
It's like a faded sort of dark blue, but quite nice.
It's like a bluey grey is how I would describe it.
Yeah, that's the way to put it. So it's in petrol matte blue. It's a really nice little car.
It is. It's obviously, it's got the 2-litre 4-pot engine, 310 horsepower, 500 newton meters.
400
newton meters torque. Sorry, my mistake.
0 to 60 is 4.9 seconds, I believe.
Which is more than you ever need in this world.
Real-world drive.
I know we're ruined with these kind of things, but you don't need to go quicker than that in the real world on public roads. It's more than enough. And I think we should probably come and take a quick look at the interior.
Yep.
Let's start up front, because once again, all of those bronze accents continue through to the stitching,
steering
the
wheel,
trims around the air vents.
Oh, and we have a start-stop button on the steering wheel.
We do. It's very R8-like. Yeah.
Yeah, all the bronze stitching.
Down on the floor mats, it continues. And that's what's lovely, to be honest, because you often get things where you've got hints of colour here and there, but it doesn't follow all the way through. With this, it does. And that, it just adds a touch of class and elegance.
It's always the little things, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's always
really
the little details. So here we have our, I guess, CUPRA buttons. That lets you run through your driving modes, through to sport, through to CUPRA. I think we have individual and then off-road.
I did spot an off-road mode in there somewhere.
Probably not.
I don't think it's what we would take off-road, but do you know what? It's there as a mode. Maybe one day we'll test it. You know, a Goodwood Festival of Speed is coming up very shortly. Maybe this will be used as a team car for running things back and forth, and it will have to go across a field. So
maybe
we may test that soon. That's that. So obviously we've now got a few errands left to do, namely taking the V8 Vantage Roadster just for a drive because it hasn't moved in a while. The Focus RS needs fuel, but then we need to take you guys for a ride in this as well. So I'm going to let Brad decide which one we do, and whichever clip you see next will be that.
CUPRA now parked up in the lineup next to the Lusso. We've got lots of dark blue cars here. And then we have a light blue car and the Vantage Roadster ready to go out. Roof down.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't saying bad things about you.
What were you saying?
Nothing. I just said you don't shut up.
What, on there?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Right, time for football cold start. We are now out on the road in the Vantage Roadster. It does sound good, you know.
It does.
Sound good.
It's the GT8 just with a face mask.
Yeah. Definitely not a bad sound by any means. We've actually been having a very civilised drive.
We have.
We've had our classical music on.
We have had classic FM on because it seems like the appropriate thing to do in this car.
We're in a classy sports car.
It's actually good fun, this car. I know I often kind of accuse it of being a bit boring, a bit old man, and it is. But it's quite entertaining, it sounds great, it rides phenomenally.
So smooth.
And do you know what? I think we both said it a while ago, it's still seriously quick. It's actually been a really pleasant surprise for me because it's the first time I've really enjoyed driving this. But anyway, I guess we should start heading back towards the Shmuseum. But between us and the Shmuseum, there is a tunnel, so we'll see you there.
That actually sounds really, really good.
It actually really is.
Like, really good.
Oh,
That's a good sound.
it actually really is.
That's a good sound.
I know I'm often quite rude about the noise of this because of the GT8, but in isolation, wow, this sounds amazing. All right, we're now back here inside the Shmuseum. V8 Vantage Roadster is parked up, and I've got to say, I think I can take back some criticism of that. It actually was a really pleasant drive. Classic FM all the way. Pleasure. So now it's time for the Focus. So time to do the usual C-Tech Smart Charger. Get that one off, and once again, it's on this side. I remember this one.
Fill up number 3 or 4 of the day. I think, oh yeah, we filled up the Vantage Roadster as well. So that is now 3rd fill up. This is the 4th. Tom is just out there somewhere filling up at the petrol station. The cool thing, which you can't see, but behind this Vauxhall, there is a white Focus RS. So we've got 2 Focus RS at the petrol station right now, which is pretty cool.
Well, I think that is all of the errands for today done. Now it's just a load of cars to be washed because we've taken them out and made them messy, plus the ones that already were. However, now is the moment that everyone has been waiting for, especially Brad, because we now get to go out in the CUPRA.
So, should we go and jump basically straight in and get going?
I think we should. We've got a lovely little route planned out, and
is there any details we can show from the outside? Is there anything cool it does? The headlight design actually is quite cool. Like, it's just different from normal things, so sort of like across.
Yeah, the way it kind of comes back on itself effectively.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know if will it cold start, do you think? Has it been sitting here long enough?
Oh, wow.
Maybe. We'll try and get a cold start.
You know what my most favourite saying appears to be? There's only one way to find out, right?
That's cool.
That is cool.
I know lots of, look, most cars do it nowadays. The Mini does it and whatever else.
But
that logo is cool.
That doesn't look like a light. That looks like it's like painted on the ground.
Maybe it's not dark enough. I don't know, that's cool though. Really cool.
That's really cool. I'll
tell you what, I have an idea.
Oh.
I'm now opening it onto your shoe.
Okay, sorry.
You go around the back with this.
Okay, yes, let me pop these down. There we go, sorry guys.
Okay, I'm gonna jump in.
Let's see how she sounds.
We'll put it into CUPRA mode just to see if we can get a little bit more. There we go, CUPRA mode, and then start.
I think it's safe to say it is fairly quiet with, again, this is what I keep saying, with modern regulations, cars are fairly quiet these days. This is clearly a victim of that. It is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. However, this is where, oh, that is cool.
I'm just finding little details with this car.
That is cool. No, well pointed out. So we are now out on the road in the CUPRA, and we have Brad at the wheel.
I'm behind the wheel, for once.
You are, yeah. I was quite insistent on you jumping for the first drive, at least on camera. Actually, you did have the first drive as well.
I did, yeah. I dropped the delivery guy back to the train station. So.
Yeah, because as everyone knows, unfortunately, with insurance regulations here in the UK, it is difficult to get you out in the Shmuseum. So that's where these come in.
These things. And they're good. RS3 with the mini electric, and now we have a CUPRA Formentor VZ3.
So I guess what everybody wants to know, what do you think of it?
I quite like it. I've always been a fan, I think, well, we're both a big fan of estate cars.
Yes.
And having a car that has a bit more practicality, a bit more room, a little bit bigger, is always quite nice. So in this case, it's a sort of small SUV.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really feel like one. You can still
it pushes you back in the
have
seat
some
quite
fun,
a bit, doesn't it?
have some fun on a British B road. I mean, the cool thing which we were running through is obviously we've got all the different settings. So just to run it down, we have put that back one. Here we go. We have comfort. Yeah. We then have sport, CUPRA, individual, and off-road.
Bit of a bouncy road here. Sorry, guys.
So this is obviously in comfort, but it's comfortable. I mean,
it is comfortable.
Does what it says on the tin, right?
And again, I think they could probably see from the camera, kind of. It's very floaty, very boat-like.
Yeah,
almost.
And then obviously you press the CUPRA button into sport, knocks you into sport shifting. You get a little bit more noise.
There feels quite a lot more control from the damping immediately already there.
Yep, yeah, 100%. And obviously then you can go up into CUPRA, which gives you a very interesting artificial sound in here. Which,
yes.
if I come around here, you'll hear. Gives you like a deep sort of growl to it, which some people may like.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not the biggest fan of the artificial stuff, and we found a way around it.
We have. So if you go into individual, and then if we just pop into the configuration here just to show you, this I love as well, right? So this is your adaptive, sorry, not adaptive, your DCC, your dynamic chassis control. So it's the adaptive dampers, and they are literally on a sliding scale from comfort to CUPRA and even beyond.
Yeah.
That you can then choose
exactly basically
where you want it. So for individual, we have actually found somewhere in between comfort and sport seems to work. Yeah. But anyway, back to what Brad was saying. Whoops, I've backed out of that. If we go into the configuration and then drop down to engine sound, we have a number of options here. So we have comfort, which is valves closed and no internal sound.
No sound, yeah.
We then have sport, which seems to be valves closed, or valves, sorry, slightly more open, but still not fully. And there's no overrun burbles or anything like that. We then have CUPRA, which, as you guys just heard from the all-out CUPRA mode, gives you the internal fake audio. And then pure. And pure, well, I think we're really glad we found that setting.
Yeah, it's glad you found that setting. I didn't look too much into it. I just set a few things up and gone, yeah, cool, this works. And then while I've been driving, you've been playing around and gone, oh, what's pure? So we were stopped, gave it a little rev, and we went, oh.
All of a sudden,
no fake noise.
No fake noise.
And it's just pure engine noise,
and
which doesn't sound bad. And
it
when
then
you're
activated
in park,
some burbles.
A few little pops and
a little overrun burbles, which
nothing
was
crazy.
Amazing. And one thing it has done every now and then is it's let out quite a bang, quite a pop on downshifts. It's not every downshift, it's maybe one in every 10 or 15. But it's quite a nice surprise, therefore, when it does happen.
Not bad at all.
Wow.
Not bad at all.
I've just realised.
Windows up.
My window was slightly open.
That was only a tiny bit,
so
not too bad.
We may have had some wind noise coming in, if so, apologies.
And then the cool thing, so now we'll pop it back into comfort, and then we can pop on our cruise control.
Adaptive cruise control.
Exactly, adaptive, knock it up to 70, and then adaptive cruise control, you can have your lane assist, it does everything. It's got all the little creature comforts that for this sort of thing, where we're just cruising, following a road into nowhere, it does everything. I think it's even trying to steer for me right now. It
is really well equipped, and it even has the Beats audio, which is really rather good as well, I must say. I'm actually really impressed. There's a couple of little bits which, as you said, very first thing you pointed out was these touch controls for the volume and for the heater, which no one's a fan of touch controls.
Oh, and the other thing that we've both been getting wrong. So in the RS3, the start-stop button was about there.
Yeah, somewhere in that.
Now we have a traction button there.
We do.
The start-stop button is obviously on the steering wheel, but both of us have got in this multiple times and just gone...
Turn the traction control off rather than starting the car. Yeah.
So we'll have to get a little bit more used to that. But overall, I'm pretty happy with this. I look forward to spending more time in it, and obviously we'll keep you updated throughout our journey with it. But some cool cars have something different, the newest team car. And we are back just to run you through a few more things just inside here in the interior. Let's pop the car on. Hopefully we are all good. So obviously nice big touchscreen. I'm not sure exactly the size, but that's where everything is kept. You've got Apple CarPlay, you've got your normal radio, you've got sat nav, etc, etc. Hopefully that doesn't start playing. Oh, fine, sorted. And obviously in here you've got your dash, which you can go through all the different views from the button here. So we've got, is it going to change? Doors open. There we go, clear that. Views. So you've got this sort of futuristic one. Then we have a sat nav one. We have a very plain one, which is just basically your range or whatever you want there in your speedo. And then coming through, you've got this, which I think reminds me of the RS3, sort of a nice central dial. And then back to what we've been running, which is the sort of twin RPM and then the speedo counter. Down here, very similar to the RS3, we have like a little toggle, which you use to change gear. Usual stuff, auto handbrake, auto hold. But yeah, it's a pretty nice place to be. Everything you could need or want can all be found in the touchscreen. What else do we have? Seats are lovely. Loving these seats. Nice and supportive, lots of adjustment on them, and they look pretty cool with obviously the CUPRA branding. Like we said, the space in the back, absolutely fine. Down here we have the light controls, which are just like touch sensitive. You just touch them gently and it will do whatever you need. And USB-C, all your usual bits. Anyway, I think we should wrap up. So I'm gonna jump out. We'll walk around the car a few more times and just give our final thoughts, and then probably head home for the evening. And I'm just wondering, do I take this?
Well, there we are. We are back here inside the Shmuseum. Brad's just given you a tour of the interior. And do you know what? I think this is going to be a really welcome addition. Not only is it going to give us something with enough space that we can use, we can all get in comfortably.
And the range.
And the range.
Sorry, Minnie.
But it doesn't look out of place to me. You know, maybe you guys will disagree, maybe you disagree, but it looks, you know, when it was parked in the lineup earlier on next to the Lusso, it didn't look out of place. And, you know, like the Clio on the end.
I'll insert a photo now of those three there parked up.
And
it looks good.
I didn't think it looked out, you know, the Clio looks, you know, arguably we all know why it's here, but it doesn't fit.
It looks less out of place now because we've done some shuffling over the recent days, and we obviously have now Clio V6, and then on to hot hatch,
you got the progression there, and like I said, we all know why that's here, but it doesn't really fit the collection.
This does. I think it's because it's got that aggressive look to it, like just the flicks down the bottom here, and obviously the front grille is.
Like we were saying, the more I look at it, you know, you've got the detailing here going all around the lights, comes down the edge, and even on the inside.
Yeah.
That detail continues. I think it's going to be one of those ones we keep finding more and more, and we'll just have to keep updating you as time goes on.
The cool thing as well about it being a blue matte is you actually do see some of the lines still. Obviously matte versus metallic and gloss, obviously it will always show the lines and things differently.
Correct.
But this blue, like the lines on the bonnet here, you can see quite how aggressive these sort of, what they are, points, sharp edges, I don't know. You can see how aggressive it is there.
Creases.
Creases, that's it.
That's the one. Sorry, it took me a while to think of the word. I think we may have to have a word with Topaz and just see if there's anything specific we need to do in terms of washing it and looking after the paint. I don't think there will be, but it's always good to check.
Being delicate, most likely. I've got matte paint on the abath, and it's not fun to look after.
Yes, you know. But
you just have to be pH neutral products and be gentle.
Well, I'm sure the Topaz ones will be absolutely fine for that. So, yeah, I think this has been a really good day, actually. It's been really busy. Hopefully, once again, you guys have enjoyed coming along for the new team car, the ride with Brad, and then obviously all of the other madness that's been going on, and the chaos and the fuel runs and the drives, and it's been quite a busy day. As I said, hopefully you guys have enjoyed coming along on the mental day that we've had today. Our new team car is here. So for now, until next time.